No, wait, what? Oh, hey, guess what? This show ain't dead. Anyway, guys, Larry Hankins here, and finally we're making another Larry's Build episode because I wanted to do some more, but I kind of just wanted to build Legos. I mean, like I had an AT-AT, I thought that'd be pretty fun, but I was like, eh. I had the exosuit thing from Lego Ideas, and I thought that'd be fun, but I wanted to build it all. Anyway, so today I do have a Lego set to build, and I saved it because I was too tired yesterday to build it. It is the Jurassic World Raptor Rampage set. So there's that. So let's get to opening this. So yeah. Let's see here. I kind of built the Raptor. One of the Raptors is I think blue. Look at all this stuff. There's that stuff. There's Delta. First bag. First bag. Third. Second. Stickers. The second booklet for some reason. I don't know why. All right, first booklet is this one. Oh, you apparently need a brick separator for this whole set. So, yeah. All right, pouring this out. There we go. Garbage. All right, go. Oh, bother. Stuff is flying everywhere. Right. So, first character I'm building right here. Hold on, yeah. Just hair. I'll fix that later. Okay, so, the actual first character I'm building uh, is, there we go. Lego Claire from Jurassic World. I'll put that there. I don't need this brick separator really. Anyway, all right. As it said in the title, I'm probably going to be discussing a lot of movies because that's what I was kind of hoping for at least once, was to have like an Avengers review while I was doing the set. But I reviewed them all, so I mean I built them all, so I guess I'll start with that. All right, so Avengers 2. What did I think about it? Well, I thought it was exactly like the first one. Now, don't think that's like a bad thing. I love the first one. First one's like my second favorite movie of all time. But I generally thought that it was the exact same movie, just copy and pasted. Because like the first, that was the great thing about the first one. It's never been done. So whenever you see all these heroes up there, you're like, whoa, wow, wowie zowie. But like when you watch like it a second time, because like in Marvel, like the whole Phase 2 of Marvel Cinematic Universe has been that. It has referenced other heroes, and you're thinking, oh, that's pretty cool. They've done it more than the first time, and then just like there was cameos and all that such. You're sitting there and you're like, man, I can't wait for Avengers 2. But by the time Avengers 2 comes out, you just sit there and you realize like the first one already gave you the fill. I mean, there's not like a lot of surprises for the second one to do anything special. Here's Owen. There's Chris Pratt. It's the third Chris Pratt Lego I have. Well, technically. All right, so yeah, we can finally build blue. But yeah, so seeing this movie, I was sitting there. I'm like, well, it's not gonna be magical, but it's probably gonna be just as fun to watch. And it was fun to watch because, like, but the first like few minutes, it's like, okay, you know how like in the first Avengers, like everything happens within like I don't know the last many minutes of the movie. Well, luckily in this movie, it's just like, hey, look, they're all fighting together in the beginning of the movie. How about that? And you're like, yay, I like this. Here's Blue the Raptor. Yay. All right, put Blue right here. Wow, they're really tall, like taller than the movie makes them out to be. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, so you know when you're walking in this movie, you're like, okay, they're probably going to do something magical like the first time. They really don't. They honestly don't. Um, I mean, don't get me wrong. The new Avengers that they did put in was pretty cool. Uh, I really did not expect Vision to be like this big character. So whenever I made the Hulkbuster video, I just made him like a kind of not really a doof, but just more along the lines of confused because I didn't know. It was personally because I didn't know what Vision was going to do. Man, Vision was probably one of my favorites of the movie because just how radical and cool he is, such like that. Because okay, first spoiler alert, he picks up Thor's hammer. Because you remember that whole giant clip of him like trying to pick up Thor's hammer, no one got it. Vision just straight up picks it up, and it is probably literally one of the coolest scenes I've seen in the whole movie. And I was like, holy shit! And yeah, and there is the Delta, that over there. With the little harnesses on their little heads, all bothered. But yeah, so there was not a lot of like I didn't have like okay, I had a lot of expectations for like this new one, but I was like sitting there and I was like, I don't know really if it was going to be like hugely successful as the first one. Despite hearing so many reports like, oh, it's going to probably gross $2 billion, it hasn't. It's not even reached. Yeah, it hasn't even reached 1.5 billion. And then just all this like big things like, oh, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. Really, it hasn't. And so, and it's going to break all these records. Whenever, I don't know, give it, then like Jurassic World comes out, shatters them. So yeah, I didn't have like it was a fun movie. There was a lot of excitement in it, but it's just more along the lines of just like it was a good movie. Just felt like the first one. And like I said, don't hate the first one, love the first one. So there's that. Though I will give one part that still makes me mad to this day because they could have made more to the Avengers team, but yeah, no, we're gonna do it. They kill Quicksilver. Okay, spoiler. They kill Quicksilver. What was funny was the whole fact that me and T-Fan Page 101, he said that was what was going to happen, and I said, no, they're not. And then, boy and howdy was I wrong. And as soon as it happened, I was like, damn it, Brian. Brian. But yeah, so, and as soon as like he watched the movie and he sat there and he's like, you want to discuss anything with me? I'm like, I'm mad that you're right. You were right. And he laughed. Because yeah, I was really wishing Quicksilver would be like this bigger character in like more movies. But oh boy and howdy was I wrong. They had to kill him for no reason either. Oh well, life happens. Can't change it. But yeah, kind of pretty mad about it for a good while. But I was like, whatever. So yeah, there's that. I'm trying to think of any other like things to. Okay, well, the whole like Thor and Black Widow love story thing was kind of weird at first whenever I was watching it. I was like, yeah, um, okay, we don't really need this, but whatever. We'll advance the movie by something for some reason, then go ahead. Like I didn't hate it. It's just more along the lines of it was weird. I mean, like the whole like most of these movies, Black Widow's kind of been provocative in some sort of way. Don't take that out of context, but like more along the lines of it kind of made it sound like something was going on between her and Cap. There was some stuff going on with her and Tony. Weird stuff. So yeah, I really honestly, I don't know. Thought it was weird, out of the bounds, all that stuff. Because I've always been like the whole. I guess this is I guess a ship, but I've always been a part of the Hawkeye Black Widow thing. And I figured out, he has a wife, and I was sitting there, and I kind of literally left the movie. I'm like, Why does Hawkeye have a wife? Why does Hawkeye have a wife? This is not fair. Hawkeye has a wife. Hawkeye has a wife. What the hell's wrong with the world? He has kids to go with it too. Well, not really a wife, but girlfriend, wife. But yeah. So yeah, I don't know, but I am excited for Captain America 3. It was filming in a city that's like 4 hours away from my home. I could have went to it whenever it was filming, but I'm an idiot and I didn't because I think it would have been fun. But whatever. What's happened's happened. Um, I can't, but I am waiting. Can't wait for that because it's got so many. It's literally Avengers 3. It's got like pretty much everybody. I don't think Stephen Strange is in it. No, he's not. No, he's probably not in that yet. Honestly, there's no like update on like Doctor Strange. Like they just said, "Oh, Benedict Cumberbatch is the actor for Doctor Strange." Okay, cool. What about other actors? Hello, hello, anyone there? I guess we're just gonna expect to see more of it like soon. But as I just said, I think it's kind of weird that like out of all the movies they've ever made, they're really quiet about Doctor Strange. I mean, recently, I don't know, they haven't started filming it apparently. That or they have, and they're just being dumb about it. Um, who knows? Honestly, who knows? Uh, Ant-Man was filmed around here too, around in the city I was talking about. But I didn't go see that either because it was Ant-Man. I was like, why do I need to go see Ant-Man? So, I didn't go see Ant-Man. All right. Another bag. Speaking of another, I guess we'll talk about. Uh, I'm saving Jurassic World for a minute, but let's talk a little bit about Inside Out because I think you probably heard it 1,000 times about how good that movie is. It is. I went to go see it Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. And I just walked in at zero expectations on how the movie was going to be. I just knew that with a Pixar movie, it's probably going to be lighthearted and all that such. Oh boy, man, did that hit me right in the feels. Yeah, he was like probably one of the sad, like it literally is, but it was like one of the best, and it is one of the best animated movies in a long, long time. And I do mean that seriously because the movies I think the best animated movies I think of this decade so far have been Wreck-It Ralph, Lego Movie, and Toy Story 3. That movie though, also Rango, I think that movie's hilarious, but those movies I think are the greatest movies of this decade so far. And Inside Out almost could trump them. I honestly don't, but I don't think they're that. I don't know. I can't see words. But yeah, I think it was one of the best movies ever to watch. It had like it was great for everyone. It did tear me up. I'm not going to mention the spoilers in this one because I think you need to go watch the movie about this. So it is literally probably one of the best movies, best animated movie in a long time, in a while. If not one of the best movies of like a good while, of like a few whiles. I can't say words. But yeah, so Inside Out was pretty damn good. Okay, now I'll discuss the movie we're building a set for Jurassic World. Now, if you didn't know, I was a huge dinosaur kid. Wanted to be a paleontologist when I grew up. All that kid stuff. So of course, one of my favorite movies as a kid was Jurassic Park. and still is one of my favorite movies of all time because of, how marvelously beautiful that movie has been. Went to go see it in the theaters whenever it was in 3D, and it was probably one of the coolest experiences to watch Jurassic Park on the big screen, even if the movie was like in 3D and it didn't even do really good in 3D. But nonetheless, still one of the best movie experiences I've went to. So how did its sequel? And I like the other three. I watched the other sequels. I thought the other sequels are not terrible. I just thought they weren't as great. Lost World, though, I think is kind of dumb. Uh, Jurassic Park 3, the only scene I really like in that movie is, T-Rex versus Rhino. And people hate that scene, and I'm just sitting there like, guys, it's pretty cool nonetheless. No, 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 they killed the T-Rex. Well, yeah, of course they're going to kill the T-Rex. Having the T-Rex is the bad guy after so many movies, you'd think you'd get bored with it. Nope, 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 not at all. And I'm just sitting here like, I wish they get rid of velociraptors as like the villains, because I'm just sitting there and like, okay, we get it. They're raptors. We get it. They're bad. They're scary. They're about the size of a human. We get it. And honestly, I always thought like, that's the only way you can have villains in those movies. They're a raptor or they're a T-Rex. So what do they do in the new one? They make it both. They make it both a velociraptor and a T-Rex. Anyway, yeah, that's not really a spoiler. That's actually been like released in like news articles everywhere. So here's my thoughts on Jurassic World. As I said, big dinosaur kid and all that such. Big fan of the first Jurassic Park. I thought it was a fun movie, and I thought it was a good movie. I didn't think it was the most spectacular movie ever, but nonetheless, it's a movie. All right, so the reason my thinking between that is this: many reasons. First off, of course, this is many years. It's been many years since a Jurassic Park movie, and I've mentioned it many times. I've waited 10 years for this movie. So whenever it finally came out, it was a pretty good movie, but still not like great to the expectations. I kind of just felt cheated, I guess is the word. I literally felt like they could have done better. They could have tried their best. Honestly, the biggest complaint I've ever had with the whole thing is the fact that the CGI has definitely become more terrible over the many years. I think I still stand that like literally 2010s is where CGI is dying. And I could be wrong. Like many people could prove me wrong, saying no, this is where there's some movies that CGI is being pretty damn good, and yeah, I'll shut up about it. But pretty much every movie I've seen so far, CGI has died. I mean, not talking about animated movies. They of course have to be this good-looking kind of thing, and I guess that's where all the budget is with the CGI. But that's the thing with like before 2010, movies were trying to prove something. The CGI was trying to prove a thing that you can do something without really doing it. I guess Jurassic Park proved that you can make dinosaurs look realistic as all hell, and that was amazing. That was an awesome thing you could do with CGI. Pretty cool. Um, uh, I'm trying to think of some CGI movies. Terminator, of course, they proved some cool stuff with Terminator. Uh, Transformers. I think the first Transformers movie's got the best CGI in it, but I think the rest of them are like the fourth one looked straight up like a cartoon, and I think it's literally one of the ones you can easily see out as like this, like awful attempt to make a Transformers like CGI model in a quick amount of time. But so yeah, Avatar, uh, Lord of the Rings, of course. Lord of the Rings. has one of the best CGI like characters ever, and they still try their best with the whole CGI thing, like with in Hobbit, but it still like was you knew it wasn't there. But oh well, I was sitting there. I'm like, well, okay, whatever. CGI is probably not going to be any good in this movie, but whatever. I'll watch it. And yeah, so the movie, I felt, the CGI, of course, they were trying their best to make it look like, it was realistic, but still was terrible. Not terrible, it's just more along the lines of just like, man, that raptor that's supposed to be real is not real whatsoever. Man, I'm easily fooled. I am an American audience. Not mocking anybody in particular, I have no idea. So I just sat there and I was just like, oh well, I'll just get past it. It's CGI. And yeah. So, dinosaurs. Of course, Jurassic Park has that new dinosaur, as I mentioned, Indominus Rex, and it was pretty cool. It had like the ability to high thermo detection. It was able to camouflage like a cuttlefish because it has cuttlefish blood in it, and it's part raptor and it's also part T-Rex. So walking into that movie, I was thinking that is going to be some pretty cool stuff to see a dinosaur do. Yeah, only once. So yeah, how do you like a movie where they say this dinosaur can do this, but only does it once? That is exactly what happened in that movie, because it was just like it hid behind thermo detection. What are we gonna do? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it won't hide from thermo detection again. Okay. Damn it. It literally felt like that because it was like it did one scene and it literally didn't even look like it was like using camouflage. It more along the line looked like it was hiding behind a tree, and then like whenever somebody showed up, it's like, yes. And then I just sat there. I was like, what the hell is this? It's like literally, it's hiding. And I'm like, where? Because like, I guess because I'm burnt out on well, not burnt out. Well, I guess the word is burnt out. I'm burnt out on Predator, where it's just like you can kind of see where he is, even though he is invisible. So I just sit there. I'm just like, he's here, isn't he? And then this out of nowhere, I'm behind a tree. Oh, that's not camo. That's just hiding. But yeah, whatever. So I let that slide. I was like, I wish they would have used that more, but whatever. I'll just let it slide. Thermo detection. I mean, they really had no reason to find her in thermo detection again, but still kind of dumb because it's just like I have thermo detection. Wow, let's never use this again. Gotcha. I hate stickers. Have I mentioned that before in an episode? Because I just literally do. I don't care. It's sloppy. Yeah, watching that, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, wow. I could have. I just literally was sitting there and I was like, oh gosh, why can't they just use her cool powers again? All right, so then it comes with the human characters. The kid is from Iron Man 3, so if you watched Iron Man 3, you figure out if you like the younger kid, or you don't. Yeah, it's right there. It's black and white. You can't hate. There's no in between with that kid. It's either you're gonna find him annoying or you're gonna find him okay. You're gonna find him adorable. I found him annoying at parts. So yeah. But and then there's the grown-up kid. You think either he's the hard-ass kid who's trying to be like, oh, girls, oh, such and such, oh, I'm like serious, like cool and such. And then, like, hi, big brother! And then it's like, brother, shut up. And then he, like, gets embarrassed. That's basically that kid. Um, those kind of movies. Yeah, so there's that. In the end of the movie, it's just like, dude, brother, I'm so sorry. Okay. And then what was weird was out of nowhere, there's this like whole plot where like the kid's parents are getting a divorce, or he thinks they're getting a divorce. I think they're getting a divorce too. And it's just like, and like he's crying about it on the train. This kid's, trying to impress some girls. And he's like, is mom and dad gonna get a divorce? And they're like, bro, I don't know. I think mom and dad are getting divorced. I saw it. No, they're not, dude. I just saw the divorce papers. They're not, dude. I saw them getting divorce lawyers. No, man. I saw them getting a divorce party set up. Okay. Of course. But essentially, you're probably either going to love or hate those kids. Who knows? I thought they were okay or annoying. So, um, come on. Come on. Sorry, I'm not talking. Yeah. All right, here we go. Putting on the tires. Also, there's a thunderstorm going on, so there's that too. Okay, well, okay. Anyway, back to the character, like humans and such. There's Chris Pratt character. Well, okay, I'll give it this. I think Chris Pratt actually, was trying to be serious about in this movie, but because honestly, like I usually like love Chris Pratt characters because I think they're always just giant dudes. I mean, Andy Dwyer, uh, Chris Pratt, well, Chris Pratt in general, Andy Dwyer, uh, Emmett, Lego Movie, uh, Peter Quill, Star Lord. Trying to be giant dupes about things, but at the same time, they're just like, but they're just doofs. This movie, he seemed honestly to me a bit too serious to be Chris Pratt. From what I heard, um, Josh Brolin was in talks for the role, but he turned it down. And I guess at that time they were filming Guardians, and they heard Chris Pratt was doing good, so they were like, "Hey, Chris Pratt, you want to be in this?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, buddy." And film the next year. So yeah, and like I said, he seemed a bit too serious, and honestly, I feel like he wasn't even the star of the movie. I don't even think, literally, I don't even know who the, like, if you told me who the main character of that movie was, I would tell you I have no idea. Because, okay, I understand movies whenever they have to, like, tell, like, a secondary or tertiary plot about a character. I don't know who the main character of that movie was. People would say it's the dinosaurs. Really? There wasn't even that much of a dinosaur. It's just, the Indominus Rex. The Raptors. Some people would tell me, oh, it's Chris Pratt. It kind of feels like, how like most movies like credit, like, though they have a big role, they're like, start with blank starring as blank. I feel like Chris Pratt was that. He was there, but not all the time. I honestly sometimes think it's Claire, who was the main character. I have no idea. It was weird to me because I'm just sitting there, I'm like, who's the main person I should care about? Honestly, that's what it felt like. So yeah, um, there was the Hoskins. He was a dick. He was automatically the villain as soon as he walked in the movie. Uh, there was the corporation leader. Money. There was only one character from the original Jurassic Park that showed up in this movie. And you know what? He seems like the villain. And then, like how I said, who's the main character in this movie? It also goes back, who's the main antagonist in this movie? Because, like I said, Hoskins is probably, like the villain in this movie. But at the same time, well, yeah, definitely he's the villain. But I don't know about B.D. Wong, who, like, if he was the villain, or he should be the villain. Because he's more along the line forced to do some of this stuff, but more he sounds like the villain of the movie. Well, not the villain. He just sounds like an antagonist that just got caught up in this thing, and he doesn't really want to be it. He just circumstantially has to be the antagonist of the movie because of the plot. So there's that, I guess. One viewer. Hey, I didn't notice you. Sorry, but let me look it up. I don't care if Nick Jonas joined Shazam. I don't want wireless cameras. I just wanted to see if I could somehow get my emails to pop up there. I apparently cannot. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, stuff like that. Somewhere. Okay, there's deaths, of course, using the dinosaurs. Of course, the big one eats everybody. But what was weird was, like, in the movie, they're training raptors and such, and Hoskins wants to use them as a weapon, military weapon and such. And then, and of course, the old antagonist way, he dies near the end of the movie, trying to tame a raptor. Okay, so yeah, he died, but not like in the coolest. He died in an ironic way, but not like died in the cool way, I guess, if you call it that. Meanwhile, before that, when the pterodactyls get loosed by the Indominus Rex accidentally, the pterodactyls start terrorizing the park folk, and well, okay. In the beginning of the movie, Claire gives her assistant to her nephews. The kids are her nephews. This whole her personal assistant, so she doesn't have to stick around with them all day. Not on that on purpose, just on accident because the day they came was a bad day. So there's that. So, literally, for some reason, this movie wants to make you think that she was a terrible, terrible person, when really all she was doing was her job, and she was on the phone most of the time. I don't see how she's villain quality because of it. So it does show that. So out of nowhere, whenever all those pterodactyls get loose, they just grab her up when she finally finds the kids. The pterodactyls just throw her in the water. And now, okay, in this movie, there was when the trailer first came out, there's this big water dinosaur in the movie, Mosasaurus, if you want to be technical about it. And I'll be honest with you guys, I was kind of slightly terrified of it because I felt like there was going to be a scene in the movie where they're going to be underwater with it, and they're going to be chased by it. Luckily, I was wrong. And so out of nowhere, whenever the pterodactyls fly her over the water, Mosasaurus eats the pterodactyl and her. Why was that needed? Why was that why did that happen? Someone I went to go see it twice. Yeah, I watched it twice. Because I wanted to try to get like on the second viewing like a real good grasp on the movie. But watching it the second time, I was just like, okay. After we watched it, like they were like, you know, it would have been cool if like the girl's death and Hoskins' death was like switched. And I'm like, okay, first off, why does the girl need to die? What did she do wrong? Was she slightly annoying? Was she slightly annoying? There was no real reason for her to die. Okay, that's the thing with movie deaths. You either have like a really good intentional one, or you just want to really piss off the folk. When you have a death that makes no damn sense, then you kind of confuse your audience. Let's, for like example, if you like, I don't know, like okay, with Optimus Prime death, people cared about that because everyone loved Optimus Prime, so it was kind of weird seeing Optimus die. Then whenever you kill someone just to piss off people, I can't think of a movie to do that. Quicksilver in Avengers. When you do that just to piss off people, what the hell is that? Okay, you're making the people mad, so you do create emotion. But when you kill someone for no particular reason in a movie, no reason like given why you kill them, you just confuse the audience. Like, okay, that's stupid and weird. Because like if you give it like, and if you kill a person no one cared about in the beginning, why the hell do that? So yeah, so I thought like her death was ridiculously stupid for some reason. For why do they need to kill her? All right, so we're almost near the end. Okay, so I was unintentionally like I was intentionally skipping a character talk about, though I'd mentioned her name quite a lot. Is of course Claire, played by Bryce Dallas Howard, I guess. Bryce Howard Dallas, something like that. So a lot of uproar was happening with her and Chris Pratt's roles. There was a whole like, oh, it's sexist and all that shit. And so I walked in this movie and I was trying to see because that is the formula of the movie. The good guy gets with the good girl. They have like an argument about stuff every once in a while. So watching this movie, I was expecting to like figure out why the problem was that and all that, and turns out I fell in love with Claire for some reason. Like how I mentioned I think she's the main character of the movie and all that. Because just like I don't know why I have no because I guess just because the movie just really wanted you to care about her most of the movie, and sure as hell I cared about her the most of the movie. I thought she was the most adorable, cute person ever in that movie, and I don't know why. I have no idea why I'm so infatuated with her. So yeah, so I have a slight crush, I guess, on Claire. I don't know. I guess you can call me sexist or some stupid shit like that. But yeah, that happened. Didn't really expect it either. I'm just like walking in that movie. Welcome to Jurassic World. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. I like this where this is going. So yeah, I think Claire was great. But now, you probably noticed that this is a Jurassic movie, and I have not yet mentioned about a T-Rex. Well, they don't want you to know about the T-Rex, and well, they kind of do. But they don't really want you to know about the T-Rex. There's a good reason behind that. So, of course, they get most of the people off the place. The Raptors go AWOL for a minute because they finally figured out Indominus was half T-Rex, and the Raptors can tell that Indominus is a velociraptor and such. They can't talk with each other. So, after a while, they finally get together. The velociraptors finally get smart about stuff. And the kid, the younger kid just sits there and he's like, "We need more." It's like, "More what?" "More teeth." And so she phones the guy in the controls saying, "Are you there?" By the way, I didn't mention this character because he really wasn't that important, but he was kind of like Malcolm. He was like Ian Malcolm. He has. What's even cool? There is a book by Ian Malcolm in this movie, so it wasn't totally like they were ignoring the whole fact that the whole first Jurassic Park happened. He has a book about chaos theory. So it's like, "Yo, what do you need?" "I need you to unleash Haddock 9." So I'm just sitting there, I'm like, "Okay, what is this?" And she lights a flare, and the doors open, and the motherfucking T-Rex. Uh, strong language here. The motherfucking T-Rex comes out and goes running towards Indominus. Well, following Claire, runs, follows Claire. She throws the flare at the Indominus Rex, and that's when the fighting begins, son. And literally, probably one of the best scenes in recent years is a T-Rex and a Velociraptor versus the Indominus Rex. And like, literally, guys, you've probably heard it many times that this movie's really good within the last 15 minutes of it. That's where where you really need to go see the movie for, is because of the last few minutes of it. And I agree. That is literally the reason why you need to go see that movie, is because of the last few minutes of it. Because it is one of the coolest, most fun moments ever, seeing a T-Rex and a Velociraptor take down a dinosaur. And guess what finished it off? The dinosaur I thought would be the scariest thing in the whole movie. The Mosasaurus comes up and eats the Indominus Rex. And I'm just sitting there like, hell yes, this is great. I literally stood up and well, not stood up. I was like, yes, yeah. Well, I'm being calm about it right now, but I was literally so happy about it. So yeah, and then the movie ends, and then Chris Pratt and Claire get together, and happy ending. So yeah, that's Jurassic World. Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's like the best movie in the Jurassic Park thing. Actually, I think it's like, but I do think it's like the second best of the whole movies. Look at this big ass truck. You've seen a truck this big? Big ass truck. All right. Well, we're almost done with this anyway, so I'm gonna put these things here together. All right. Oh man, I'm starving or thirsty or some shit like that. There's nothing really I need to talk about other than I guess Secret Transformers stuff. Um, the new episode's about to come out soon. I just have to wait on two more people on that. I need to film. I need to finish up on my lines because I've actually forgotten a few lines to put down. So I don't know when that'll be out. Hopefully soon. I'll say that. I'm hoping next week. All right, almost done with this. And there's that. Alright, we got it done. We got, Jurassic World set done. Here you go. It's literally a big truck. Here's a minifigure compared to the truck. Big truck. Here's what I was talking about with the Raptors. Big Raptors. Something like that. I guess, I don't know. So yeah, thank you for watching another one of these episodes. I don't know when another one will come out soon. Hopefully soonish. But I have no idea what my next set I'll probably buy that's worth, building it on camera and talking about stuff. Because like last time I talked so much about stuff that I forgot all about because like the first episode I talked so much, but then the second episode came out and I forgot. Like I already talked about everything, and it was like a few days later. So honestly, it was dumb. I didn't even think about talking about things. So yeah. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for watching. I am going to be working on stuff here in a bit. And so, yes. Thank you for watching. Videos coming soon. All that jazz and stuff. So, take care, folks. Yeah.